Welcome back to CNN's continuing coverage of the war in Iraq. I am Paul Begala. If Saddam Hussein is dead, does it mean the war in Iraq is over? Well, and what if he gets away like Osama bin Laden did? At what point can the U.S.-led coalition declare victory? That is our Crossfire debate tonight with Ken Adelman of the Pentagon's Defense Policy Board and Hussein Ibish of the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee. Mr. Carlson?
Ken, I'm going to start with you. We hear administration spokesmen all of a sudden saying, well, it doesn't really matter if we get Saddam Hussein. This is at great odds with what administration spokesmen have been saying for the past year, which is this is about Saddam Hussein and not about the people of Iraq. It's a cult of personality. Isn't it vital to eliminate the cult leader?
It is very helpful to get him, but it's more helpful to get rid of the regime. And the regime is not just one man, but it's a whole group of, say, 20 people. And I think that we're getting rid of the whole regime. We may have gotten rid of him and his sons last night, and God knows, I hope so.
Well, yeah, Hussein, God willing, I mean, I didn't support this war, but God willing, he's already playing checkers in hell right now with Adolf Hitler. But we don't need to kill him or even capture him, do we, to win the war? As Ken says, he makes a good point.
Not in the long run. I don't think so. But I think that if he were missing, it could provide interesting problems politically in post-conflict Iraq. It could, I think, take Iraqis a little longer to feel sort of relieved of the after effects of totalitarianism if he were lurking around, if they didn't know where he was. And also, I think it's possible that if there were some sort of violent resistance to the American occupation, that his image and this notion that he's out there might somehow become a rallying point. In the long run, that would dissipate. But for a few months at least, it could be problematic, I think.
Yeah, you want closure, and the easiest way to get closure is a dead body, or him behind bars.
Well, but which is better? Don't you think
I would
that it's
rather
better
have
for
him behind the bars?
Behind bars like Noriega, a disgraced, pathetic figure, rather than a heroic martyr, either missing or dead, right?
Right. What I fear is in the bottom, well, I don't fear it because I'd like it, but in the bottom of all that rubble, that there's nothing left of him there because of the bunker buster. Bombs are so powerful that he may be vaporized.
Either way, though, it wouldn't solve your problem. Ultimately, you're going to be facing a political problem that goes way beyond whether Saddam is alive or not, and the regime certainly will be destroyed. There's no question about that. The real problems begin once that happens. Once Saddam is gone, once the regime is gone, then comes the most difficult challenge by far, which is creating a stable, legitimate
That's
order.
easy for you to say, Hussein Ibish, because you're not an Iraqi citizen. And I must say that opponents of the war, hold on, let me ask my question.
The most difficult problem was getting rid of the regime.
Have ignored the fact that in some sense there's already been a victory. Over 100 Iraqi children were released from prison in Baghdad today.
Look,
haven't the Iraqi people won, truly?
There are going to be, there have been a lot of good things. There have been also a lot of very disturbing things. There have been a lot of innocent people that have been killed, and there have been a lot, there's chaos.
Well,
hold on.
Anybody suspected
no, I don't know. Actually, we really don't know. We really don't know how many civilians have been killed. We do know that there have been some pretty horrific incidents. My point is this.
I don't know. Horrific
oh, come on. There was a huge bomb in a marketplace that killed about 50 people. There were a couple of other missiles.
Which are Iraqi bombs.
No. I think that very good journalists had found shrapnel with not shrapnel but pieces of metal with American serial numbers. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter even if they were errant anti-aircraft fire, as the Pentagon rather unconvincingly claims. The point is tragedies are occurring as well as things that are uplifting. The point is, though, and I think the military understands this. I mean, I think that a lot of military planners and military theorists that you talk to understand that the problems begin when the military aim of overthrowing the government actually is achieved. And post-conflict stabilization is the biggest challenge.
It sounds like a kind of cliche, and I know you're saying that. But the main problem is to get rid of the regime. That was the main problem.
But the main problem with
I don't think that. I think you'll be amazed at how difficult the post-conflict situation is going to be.
However I'm amazed it is so much better than anything that was there for the last 25, probably 40
years. Just a moment.
In fact, anything's better than this.
568 days ago, our president promised us he would get Osama bin Laden dead or alive. And every day he's alive, he is a threat to our national security. Doesn't that hurt our cause now when we say, oh, yeah, we're going to set up a friendly regime, that we've made these false promises to the American people about getting Osama bin Laden?
No, I don't think it does, Paul. I think that what really the president wanted to do was to disable, as best we can, the al-Qaeda network. And I think that better than I ever expected. The Al-Qaeda network is disabled, okay? Not entirely, but a lot better than we had. The same thing is true with Iraq. And to say the problems begin now is just wrong.
And we will be back in just a moment when
we shall see.
I'm sorry, I have to cut you off. When we come back, one of our guests here at the table predicted this war was going to be a cakewalk. Has he been vindicated? And is the battle for Iraq really simply the opening shot in a new war? So we're saying, stay with us.
CNN's continuing coverage of the